So, what woman influenced me the most? I actually have two women in my life that influenced me the most, and they are both my grandmother. I have two grandmothers. One is, I would say, the strongest person I've ever met. She always wanted me to become the best version of myself and really put me first when I was a child, which allowed me to see that the world was much bigger than just my backyard. Whereas my other grandmother, she was really a major cheerleader in my life. She really taught me that other people do not define who I am. And if I believed in my own skills, my own worth, my own ability, I could do great things in this world. So both women taught me what unconditional love is through their selflessness and constant reinforcement. So those are qualities I thrive to emulate in my life. So those are my two women. What advice would I give a woman just starting in her career? Well, I would say never be afraid to ask. If you want something, ask for it. So one of my favorite quotes is closed mouths don't get fed. I say it all the time, which means if you don't open your mouth, you won't get what you want. The worst thing a person can tell you, and I tell my students this all the time, the worst thing a person can tell you is no, which will just put you right back where you started. So what's the harm, right? So one thing I've asked just for myself, to give an example, when I was starting in my career, I asked for an internship, for example, which did lead me to identifying what I wanted to do in my career and became a huge stepping stone. But I would just stay up and I would email directors and CEOs from different companies I was interested in. And I would introduce myself and share my aspirations and just say, like, I know you don't know me, but can I have an internship? So it worked out. Surprisingly, it worked out. And also when I was in college, I actually created my own major. I wanted to study international studies, which was not offered. And so I spoke to a variety of professors around campus and had them kind of come together to create a major that fit my needs. And so any of those could have turned into a no, but it worked out, and you would never know this unless you asked. So never be afraid to ask for things you want. So what is my favorite subject to teach? I love cultural studies. Anything that's in cultural studies, it's my jam. So currently at Riverside, I am teaching diversity and culture for the micro MBA program. And I'm also teaching US culture and society for an international partner. They have a high school bridging program. So I'm teaching that class currently right now. I would say that I love studying people and really understanding the way or the why they behave the way that they do. And so I think it's a skill people take for granted. But it actually takes a lot of patience and many mistakes. You won't be perfect, but that's okay. That's one of the reasons why I love it, because you always have an opportunity to learn. And once you master it, you realize that all people want the same thing. They want love, they want safety, they want an opportunity to be understood. So I feel that's something you can learn from in cultural studies. So that's why I love to teach it. So what are the 3 key skills someone will walk away with after completing my course, or one of my courses? I would say you'll learn how to self-reflect to determine how our own identities help us navigate the world, which I think is essential. It's an essential skill for anyone in learning about people or about cultures, because it must start from within before you can learn about other people. So that's one. The second one, I would say you'll learn how to identify and analyze cultures and values through intercultural communication and competencies. This is especially helpful in business management, especially if you plan to take on a senior role or a global workforce. And then the third one, you'll learn what it truly means to be an ally, by recognizing the influence of privilege and how we can use our privilege to support those with less power. And by privilege, I mean on a variety of levels. So culture, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, language, and so on. So those are the 3 skills, I think. The eldest of 11 siblings. I was detained in Prague over a train ticket. I stole a prayer charm from a monk. Yes, so the lie, which is I was detained in Prague over a train ticket. Actually, it was my students that was detained. So that's a fun fact about me.